with Kim Mothershaw. Call 13 13 32 anytime on News Talk 1116 4BC.
It's 11 to 2 and our number's 13 13 32. Time to catch up with Annette Lakey from Payne Lawyers. Hello, Annette. How are you?
I'm great. It's Christmas. Woohoo.
I don't know if you meant that or not. Are you seriously feeling that way about Christmas?
No, not really.
Oh, really?
I've just had my birthday, so I'm a bit over it all, really.
Well, presents. Come on now.
Yeah, that's good.
You'll be right. If you've got a question for Annette, you can ring us on 13 13 32. Of course, Annette from Payne Lawyers, family law specialists. And we'll take a couple of calls straight away. Graham, how are you, Graham?
G'day, how you going, Kim? Hi, Annette.
Hi, Graham.
If a lady friend, you've got your own house, a lady friend moves in, does she have to live with you if she moves out? Can she go you for anything after? Is there a certain period of time, or even if she's not living with you, if she's just like coming and going all the time?
You need to come within the definition of de facto relationship, which is, generally speaking, 2 years, unless there's a child of the relationship, or unless they've made a significant financial contribution to the property.
Right.
So, but generally speaking, it's 2 years.
Right, yeah, there's no child, just straight out friendship and that. I just thought, was there a thing, if she stayed in the house for 6 to 12 months and didn't put anything, she'd have to prove if she put any money to the property.
She'd have to prove a contribution. That's right.
Great. I think a lot of your listeners would love that information. So that's saying it nice, Kim.
Well, it sounds like you're happy with it, Graham.
Yes, I am.
Okay, mate. Have a good Christmas.
Thanks, Kim. Same to you, Annette.
Bye.
Thanks, Graham.
Doug at Eden's Landing. Hi, Doug.
Oh, fantastic, Kim. Annette, I know that grandparents have rights to their grandchildren, but what happens when a grandparent remarries and their children don't approve of the new grandparent? Can they stop access then?
Yeah, well, the problem is it's kind of up to the parents, and if the parents don't allow it, then the grandparent actually has to take them to court to be able to enforce, the rights of the child to see the grandparent. So when there's conflict with the parents, it's very difficult. That's the problem. You kind of got to stay in with the parents.
Yeah, I know that you got access through the courts, but when the new partner comes along, is not actually related to the grandchildren, can they absolutely stop the grandchildren from seeing the new partner?
Unless there's some welfare concerns, no, I wouldn't have thought so.
Oh, okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear.
Thanks, Doug.
All the best, Doug.
Merry Christmas to you.
You too,
too.
Doug. And is that a problem that you see increasing, the tie-in with grandparents' access to children? Is that something that, to be honest, I wouldn't have even thought of it till Doug brought it up then.
Yeah, it's actually quite common. The problem often happens is that couples who are in intact relationships have a falling out with their parents, and you do see cases where the grandparents actually have to take the parents who are in an intact relationship to court to see their grandchildren. Or you've obviously got a separated couple, and let's just say the wife won't allow any more of the children to spend time with the grandparents who might have had a lot of contact with them, the paternal grandparents. So you do have a lot of conflict both in separations and even in not separations, or if in Doug's position, the parents don't approve of the grandparents' new partner, they may not allow it, and that's the problem.
Okay. Yeah, it's one of those things, I suppose, unless you're in that situation, you don't even consider that is a problem.
It's sort of seen that usually it's in the best interest of the children to have a relationship with their grandparents, but there are circumstances, for example, if there's a lot of parental conflict between the two, where that's going to then affect the kids, and that's the problem. If the conflict is so bad that the grandparents having time with the children is going to cause real issues with the parent, the parent sort of has priority, and that's the problem.
Yeah. 13 13 32 is our number. Mike at Sunnybank. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, how are you? I married a lady 3 years ago. She has 2 kids. We don't have any property problems, but do I have liability towards her children?
Not unless you adopt them, no.
No, I didn't adopt them.
No.
Too old for that. Yeah, no, okay, that's the main thing anyway. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mike. Have a good Christmas.
And to you.
All these people with problems? I suppose we've all got problems in our own way. And that's what Annette's here to do, to help you out. If you have an issue, a family law issue, you can call right now. The other thing you were going to talk about today was?
Christmas.
Christmas.
Christmas is really difficult, obviously, where you've got a separated couple because, where do the children spend time? And my experience is that most people want to have the kids for Christmas Eve because they get to, wake up with their presents in the morning and all that sort of stuff. Generally speaking, what most people do is they do alternating Christmases. So one year, one party will get, say, Christmas Eve to Christmas morning, and then the other party gets Christmas afternoon to Boxing Day, usually change over about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they reverse it the following year, so it's sort of fair. The problem with that is, of course, if the parties live a long way away from each other and you don't want a kid, travelling 3 or 4 hours on Christmas Day. So in those circumstances, normally they do it Christmas and alternating years, they have the whole block. But certainly it's considered to be fair, generally speaking, the kids to get to spend time with their parents on Christmas Day.
It's not all that different to families, really, isn't it?
Well, that's true. It's like
going
to the wife's family one for lunch, and then the So it's not unusual, but it's hard, obviously, because the kids are going to 2 different environments. Of course, it doesn't mean double the presents, so that's not a bad thing, I suppose.
Is it a seasonal thing with regard issues like this? Does Christmas become a time when there is more conflict, when families are broken up in different ways?
I think a lot of couples try to stick it out till Christmas. Obviously, they don't want to cause any problems prior to Christmas for their children. But generally speaking, I think that, if you can get over the Christmas period and school holidays as well, the focus is on the kids. But I think we find often after that sort of January period, that's when people who haven't been happy, they've got over Christmas, they've got over the holidays, and now they can then start looking at whether they want to separate, that type of thing.
Okay. It's a bit like the Christmas sales. Or the New Year's sale. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I don't
quite like that.
I'm not making light of it. I didn't. It was naughty of me. I'm sorry. Gwen, how are you, Gwen?
I'm fine, and how are you?
I'm well, thanks. And what's your question for Annette?
Yes, I'm just wondering, when, couples separate, can one enforce a psych test on their other couple or the other person before they get access to kids?
If it's warranted, the court can make that order. Obviously, otherwise it's just a voluntary thing. But in a case where one of the parties has a history of mental illness, for example, often it's usual that they say you need to go and get a psych assessment before you're allowed to have unsupervised visits. And obviously mental illness is so common in today's society, and even severe depression. If that's going to impact on the care of a child, then it certainly would be beneficial to say, look, you need to go and at least get something from your doctor or something to show that either you're on medication and it's under control, or that if you're not on medication you don't need to be. But you can't sort of force it, but you can, if there's no court order, you can say, well, look, you're not getting the kids unless you do this, and then I guess that's forcing them in anyway.
There's been no sign of any problems in the past, and I think someone might be just pulling a bit of a Swiftie.
Yeah, if there's no history of any psychiatric illness, then I don't think they really are able to warrant asking for that sort of thing. And psychiatrists are very expensive. You're looking at $3,000 or $4,000 to do a report.
Find another way.
It's a lot of money to a report from the GP would probably be sufficient if there were any concerns, I would have thought.
Yeah, I would imagine so too. Okay, no worries.
Have a good Christmas,
Thanks,
Gwen.
Same to you. Bye.
Bye now. Psych report, is that sort of business talk, is it?
A psychiatric assessment. Psychiatrists do very well out of family law.
3,000 or 4,000, did you say?
Oh, that's probably just starting.
Oh, dear.
They charge more than lawyers, Kim.
Yeah, I was going to say, we thought it was bad to get lawyers involved. Don't get the psychiatrist involved as well. Okay, listen, we've got to go. You having a break?
I am. Yep, back on the 6th of January, I think it is,
so
Thursday.
Have a happy holiday. Hope Santa brings you all the things you want.
You too, Kim.
Okay. Annette Lakey from Payne Lawyers, of course, family law specialist. If you want a consultation, for 4BC listeners, the first consultation is free. And the number to call, 3221 2044. 3221 2044 for Payne Lawyers. It's now 2